Hello, Bison fans. I'm Brendan Nash, and I'm the men's soccer coach at Bucknell University. This time of year is very exciting for us because we have finished our recruiting class, and each year we like to say the year of the recruiting class, but you'll see as we go through the recruits this year, it's a little bit different. So I will just call this the next year's recruiting class versus the class of 2018. And our first recruit in next year's class is a young man named Daniel Bank. And Daniel is going to come to us from Albertson Academy in Byram Hills High School up in New York. And Daniel is a right back. If you know our soccer team, you'll know that Joe Meyer is a graduating senior. He was a two-time academic All-American, and he was All-Conference this year. Therefore, right back was a key component in our recruiting class. We saw Dan very early in the recruiting class down in Florida, and my assistant coach, Matt Haney, and Patrick Long really liked him, and then I had a chance to see him, and he's very similar to Joe. He's very technical, very quick, and he actually has some outstanding speed coming forward. I don't want to put him in the company of Joe Meyer just yet because Joe had an outstanding senior year, but if I want to compare him to Joe's freshman year and Dan's freshman year, if Dan has a freshman year like Joe, we're going to be pretty happy with Dan's freshman year. Our second young man is Ben Derleth, and Ben is going to come to us from Webster Thomas High School in New York and the Revolution Empire Academy. Ben was a young man that Bucknell just fit into his academic needs in the beginning. He wants to be an engineer, and obviously Bucknell is strong in engineering. So Ben reached out to us, and then we began the recruiting process. I had a chance to see him a few times with his academy team, but then he signed up for our summer camp. Ben came through our summer camp. We really got to know him as a person and as a soccer player. And it was pretty evident to see that he was a Bucknell type of student athlete. He's a forward. He has outstanding speed. He has some pretty good size for a forward. And he has a very good soccer IQ. Because he has the soccer IQ, he may not be just a forward for us. He could play right midfield. And actually with his academy team this year, he played some right back. We don't see him being a defensive player for us. We see him more as an outside midfielder and a forward, but we are very happy to have him in the program. Our third young man is Mike Moser from Delbarton High School, and he plays his club soccer for PDA out of New Jersey. And it's actually a funny connection that we had when we first started to see Mike Moser. When he was a sophomore, he was playing in the state championship game when I went to go see Chris Thorsheim for Christian Brothers Academy. And as I was watching Chris, this young forward from Delbarton really stuck out in my mind, and we continued to track him for the next 2 years. For the next 2 years at Delbarton, he led the team in scoring, and he led them to back-to-back state championships. His senior year was capped off with Mike leading them to the New Jersey State Championship and the #1 ranking in the state. To culminate his senior year, he was named first-team All-State in New Jersey and All-East region as well. Mike is another forward, possibly right midfielder for us because he's similar to Ben in what he brings to the attack. He's got great quickness and outstanding speed. I don't say this lightly when I say he reminds me to Josh Plump with the type of speed that he has. And any Bison soccer fans know that Josh was one of the fastest players that we've had during my time here, and I think Mike is going to challenge him for that title during his 4 years. So we really love speed, and I think Mike's going to fit into that mold very well for us. The next young man is Jack Natali, and he's from New Hope Soberry High School, and he plays club for Lehigh Valley United out of Pennsylvania. And Jack is a center back that ended up coming to Bucknell with a pretty interesting story. Jack actually had committed to another school, and his high school team came to our summer camp. And Jack just came to the camp, and we knew he was committed to another school. During the camp, Jack fell in love with Bucknell University. And he came and he spoke to us, and I said, Jack, ethically, you're going to have to speak to your other school if you want to re-engage in the recruiting process. The school that they committed to, they were very classy, and they said, if your heart is telling you that you want to be at another school, go be at the other school. So Jack ended up committing to us, and Jack plays center back, but he could play right center back or right back for us. He's been a captain of his high school team, which has been very successful, and he's been captain of a club team, which has been very successful. And that usually translates to success at Bucknell University. Next young man is Jonathan Palmer, and Jonathan's coming to us from Greenwich High School in Greenwich, Connecticut. And Jonathan is one of those that he may be a diamond in the rough because he didn't play much club because he played different sports year round, but he had a very good junior year and he had an outstanding senior year. He was center back for his team that at many points in the year they were ranked #1 in Connecticut and they were nationally ranked as well. He led the team as far as they could go, but they did not win the state championship. At the end of the year, he was named first team All-State. He was named All-New England, and in one publication, he was named the Connecticut Player of the Year. Jack's a big, athletic center back, but I think he could also play holding center mid for us. Athleticism always helps in our back four, so there's a big upside to what Jonathan can bring to the program. The next young man is Zach Roquemore. And why I didn't call it the class of 2018 is because Zach is the first transfer we've had in my 15 years as a head coach. Zach is coming to us from Boston College. Obviously, it's a high-profile program, and we're very excited to have him. When Zach was a senior in high school, he was ranked one of the top 100 recruits in the country. We recruited him pretty early, and he decided early in the process that he wanted to go to Boston College. Things haven't worked out as he anticipated. He had some injuries, and he's looking for a new start. He's a very big, cerebral center back, and we're losing Maiwa Ali. So losing an All-American, it's going to put a pretty big void back there. To ask one of our incoming guys or a freshman, it's tough to do. So Zach has had some experience at the ACC level, and I think it's still not going to be easy for him to replace Maiwa, but we are pretty excited about the prospect of him taking Maiwa's spot moving forward. And the last member of our recruiting class is Jack Zollicoffer, or Zolly, as everyone calls him. Zolly went to the same high school as Jonathan Grad, Charlotte Latin, and he plays with the Carolina Rapids Academy team. Zolly is somebody that Coach Haney saw down in Florida and came over and said, "Coach, I think you have to come watch this young man. He's our type of player." It didn't take me long to agree with Coach, and he's a defensive center midfielder, 6'2", and covers a lot of ground. Josh Butsky graduated, so we know that defensive center mid is a position that we have to replace. And we're pretty excited to have Zolly because of how athletic he is, how hard he works, but more importantly, what type of person he is. And when he came on his visit, he just really blended into the team chemistry, and that's very important for us. He's currently the captain of his academy team, and they're leading their division and probably will make a run in the playoffs. So he's a winner. And after the season that we had, we want to continue to recruit winners to this program, and we think he's going to continue that tradition for us. We're very excited to have Zolly, but we're also excited to have all 7 of the young men to continue the Bucknell men's soccer tradition.